we go. It's like a condom.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, there we go. It smells good. We got some Basil Hayden's today. It's going to be good.
It's my mother's maiden name.
Yeah?
Really?
Hayden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah. Cool.
Sweet.
Coffee work whiskey. Here we go.
Right?
Let's do it.
All right.
I had made a drink before at the house, so I was seeing which whiskey I was going to bring. If it was going to be a open or not.
Cherries whiskey.
Yeah.
Get some whiskey.
Why not?
Awesome. Welcome back to HVAC Success Secrets Revealed with Thaddeus and Evan, your HVAC marketing experts. We have good conversations with good people, and any good conversation worth having is worth having drunk. So, cheers, gentlemen.
Cheers.
Jonathan, welcome to the show, my friend.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
No worries. So this week's guest is Jonathan Bannister. Jonathan is the owner and founder of Cornerstone Marketing Solutions. They are a competitor of ours. They are also running an HVAC home services marketing agency, but we happen to be in a coaching group together. And we've had a lot of really great conversations around the industry. And one of the things that we love to do is collaborate with other marketing companies that are actually doing things right for a couple of reasons. One, we don't want to work with everyone in the market because we don't want to compete against ourselves, really. Two, we believe that there's more than enough business out there for everyone. And when you have an opportunity to do things the right way and work with others that are doing things the right way, it's only going to elevate and bring people up in the industry. So that's why we were really excited to have Jonathan on the show today.
Thank you.
And talk some shop, shoot the shit, have some whiskey, and really uncover some success secrets that some of his clients are doing really well, some of the things he's doing really well with his clients to really elevate their businesses. So welcome, Jonathan.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I think we do have to do a disclaimer that this is pre-recorded. It's not our traditional live MO, unfortunately, just because we're going to be golfing later together. So we wouldn't have been able to actually do it at the time. So, hey, you know what? At least we've got the legal disclaimer stuff out of the way.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to put that out, it's 10:23 in the morning and we're drinking whiskey. So let's go.
It's going to be a good day. when that's the case.
5 o'clock somewhere, right?
Yep.
Absolutely.
And I anytime I take people out to golf, there's a lot of gambling involved. So the drunker I can get them, the more lucrative it may be for me later.
There you go.
Plus, it's gonna be my home course. It's my country club in my backyard. So let's go.
Well, let's kick things off with the first question. How did you get involved in the industry? Where'd you get your start, and why marketing?
Yeah, so kind of got into digital marketing in 2013. I was in law enforcement, and my wife and I had our second baby 2013, and actually found out we were pregnant again. So we had kids 2012, 13, 14,
Wow.
and she said, look, law enforcement's getting really dangerous. What are you going to do? Is this going to be your end game? I knew it wasn't. I enjoyed it. I was having fun, being a cop, but I never could see myself at the end of the hallway. Every time I'd go into the police department and I would see these miserable people walking down, my captains and the chiefs, and I was like, that's just not for me. Like the day that I don't get to be out in the streets and skull dragging the bad guys, I'm like,
you can pretty much say whatever you want.
yeah, I'm not
show.
a cop anymore. I don't give a shit. But yeah, so it was like, once that was going to come to an end, and I was too old to not be able to physically manhandle people, I was just going to be like, all right, I'm done. So she goes, maybe it'd be a good time now with, how kind of bad everything is with law enforcement, and maybe, shifting. So I called a buddy of mine, and he was building mobile apps, and I had a sales background before that, and he said, look, I want you to help me sell these. And I said, great. So next thing I know, I started selling mobile apps to local businesses, and had some great ideas, even golf courses. I was going to golf courses and saying, yeah, how about a mobile app for your business? And they were like, mobile app for the golf course? And I said, look, why don't you, what you do is you put the sign up on the counter, and you tell people to scan the QR code to download the app, and that you'll give them a free bucket of balls at a driving range, right? Like, these are prepaid balls.
Yep.
They're not going to cost you anything. And at the end of the day, once they have the app downloaded, then when you look at the tee books and you're slow on a Tuesday or Wednesday, you send a push notification out to the 5,000 people that have your app downloaded and go, you can play unlimited golf today for $30 if you want. I said, what if you get an extra $500,000 into cash register that you wouldn't have had? Yeah. What would that be at the end of the year, right? I said, so I was just kind of get these people to think outside the box. And then what I started running into is they would say, these small businesses would go, well, what about my website? Like, people can't find my website. My SEO is bad. And, back there in that time, guys, I went to the car and was Googling what is SEO because I didn't know, right? And so that's how the whole start of this came to be.
Wow.
Yep. Wow.
That's really cool.
The apps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Matt, the apps just led to one thing to another. And next thing I know, my sister-in-law was the president of a manufacturer here in Dallas, a major manufacturer, and her husband, my brother, he owned a print marketing business, so he was doing direct mail and door hangers and things like that, and had a lot of contractors, and they were reaching out to him going, great, thank you for doing this direct mail campaign, but what can you know anybody that can do websites and stuff? So he was referring everything to me back in Biloxi, Mississippi. And next thing I know, I looked down at our books, and we had 95% of all my clients were HVAC, and I was like, "This is cool." And then my teams, my content writers, and my social media team started saying, "Are we ever going to get some different types of clients?" Because they were getting bored with this. And now, now we're 100% HVAC, plumbing, electrical. We're strictly home service. And now, if I was to throw a curveball and go, "Hey, we've got this." Hair salon we're going to pick up, they wouldn't know what to do, right? Because they are so focused on, HVAC and the home service industry. So it's been good.
Well, and it's systems and processes, right? When you look at, business, at least from our end of things, if you want to get really good at something, you specialize in one thing. I mean, you look at doctors. Why do you think neurosurgeons, and like I'll use money as the example here. I don't necessarily mean it in the case of what we're talking about, but neurosurgeons are highly specialized, right? You have the orthodontists, they're highly specialized, right? So when you like anything, people that are highly specialized are really good at their craft. And when you can find a marketing company that's highly specialized, such as you guys, such as On Purpose Media, for us, you as an HVAC contractor are going to have a lot more success. So one of the things, I know one of the reasons why we're down here and we're having the conversation in person, it's a little bit different format than everybody's used to, is we're talking a little bit about some breakthrough marketing stuff that you guys are working on and why you're seeing the fun camera angles and stuff like that. So walk us through some of the things that you're seeing in the marketplace in ways that people can be, okay, that's cool, I've seen this, it's starting to blow up.
Yep.
Walk us through that.
So for us, it's video. So we're here. We get the guy behind the scenes here, Kevin Lee. He's the video ninja. My team calls him Master Kevin. Literally every email or text that's addressed to him, they call him Master Kevin. And but what we're trying to work on here is we know that video content is the future, right? And there's certain industries that are getting really big in it. Just recently, we had Dennis Yu here. He's one of the best in the industry when it comes to social media and just content marketing in general, and showing us some really cool interactive stuff. So it's like what we're trying to focus on now is getting our clients engaged with the video content. So we're going to have our traditional video. We're going to have drones out there. We're going to show their team and who they are as a culture of their business, and that's great.
Yep.
But we need to figure out what's going to drive awareness. As you start thinking about platforms like TikTok and some of these other things where people are just sitting and watching these videos all day long, funny, they do different kind of animations and stuff, and it's like, how do we bring the home service space into that? And the best way that we feel like that can happen is putting the technicians who are out in the field, they're in these customers' homes, and showing the viewers what it is that they actually do, right? And it's getting the viewers engaged with it. And it's like, I think we had this discussion a little while ago that no matter what you put out there and give people free of value, 95% of them are not going to take action, right? So you don't have to worry that they're going to take it and try to do it themselves and they're never going to need to call you. No, I think it's the complete opposite. They're going to see value in you by giving them that information and telling them how they can make some small changes to their thermostat, or by putting this certain filter in their home, or a certain IAQ product can make their home safer, a better air quality, whatever it may be. But by giving them those tips, instead of like just trying to have a call to action and get in their face and go, bam, I've got this for sale, I got this, this perfect offer, But by educating them first, top of funnel is education. And as you work them through that funnel, then you've built trust, you've built credibility, and then they're going to call you and go, hey, look, I saw what you were offering. I have no interest in finding it on Amazon and trying to do it myself. But I want you guys out here because I watched your team take the time going through that customer's home and what that process was like, and then seeing that video testimonial of what the customer felt like that experience was like. I'm sold, right? Yep. And that's what we feel like. We're trying to shoot video content, but bring the contractor into it. And not everybody is on board. Like, the owner may not want to do this himself. And so it's about finding the right technicians and finding the right people in that business that are willing to do that, you know. And look, we try to focus on incentive programs, right? Like, if you can find a couple people inside your business that are willing to shoot this content and the step process that we've built out, and they're willing to do it right, compensate them, right? Because it'll be invaluable for what it'll do for your business. But, you know, treat those guys right. Give them an opportunity to make some more money, because it's going to make your business more money.
Well, and there's a lot of things in there. Ashley, if you're watching, which she doesn't really watch the show, I heard the word drone in there, so I can get a drone if we start doing this. Heck yeah. But, you know, 95% of people won't do what you teach them, right? Or you're just providing value. They're going to consume the content, but that's also the 99-1, 90, so 90, 9, and 1. So 90% of people that watch and consume content, that's all they do. They just watch and they consume. And the 9% of people actually comment and engage, but 1% are the creators, right? And so when you're trying to find this business, that's why you say it's not fit for every business, because it's really the 1% of businesses that are actually going to do this that are going to have a massive, massive success.
Yeah. Well, and it'll be completely disproportionate with the rest, right? Few will execute. That's the reality of it. And so it's a great opportunity for businesses to really separate themselves, separate from the pack, separate from their market, and really blow up. So I'm really excited about that. That's,
and see, you say separation, separating yourself from everybody else. We had this conversation in the car this morning when I was doing like 112 on the freeway. Ashley, if you're watching.
114 miles per hour.
But separating, because we were having a conversation, some other guys that are kind of in this space that kind of focus on the Facebook ad side only. Everybody's ads look the same. It's your financing offers. It's the $59 payments as low as $59 or 0%. And look, those ads will work. They will convert, but you got to put a lot of money behind them. It just takes so much. The ad fatigue happens so rapidly. But when you start building out a process, and you've got how videos and what videos, and you're teaching people and you're educating people, and you're thinking of, what can I do from an engagement standpoint? What can I show that will be cool? Like one of those TikTok videos. What is making these people, millions of people view some, and you look at it and go, really? That's got 5 million views. Right. You can do it in the home service space. Kevin was just saying that he was searching TikTok last night, and he was watching some roofing videos, and it was, you know, people hitting roofing nails over and over and over real quick, and that had millions of views on it. So there's absolutely duct cleaning,
massive. Like the before and afters. Like I've had my ducts cleaned, and the before and after shit was fucking disgusting.
Yeah, you wonder, like I'm sleeping, my kids are sleeping, and that's what they're breathing in. But the homeowners, the viewers, never get to see that side of it.
No.
Now you may like go, hey, look at this bag, and I've put all the stuff that was in your ducts I've got in this bag. But that's one homeowner who already called you because they had an issue or they saw a special that was on. But to be able to show everybody in your service area what that process looks like, or just giving them the visual idea of, my home could look that way, because they have no idea.
No, none.
Right?
None.
They think their air conditioner works fine, their heater works fine, whatever season they're in, I'm good. But then when they see a video like that, and maybe if they even saw that it's a really nice, newer home, and they're going, oh my gosh, like what lives inside of these vents that are inside my house, you know?
Well, here's what you end up doing, and I wish I had the numbers in front of me, because like we talk a lot about problem solution, and you look at, you know, Google ads. Well, people that are already searching on Google, they already know they have a problem, and they're actively looking for a solution. But the majority of the market, like 60 to 80% of the market, has no clue they have a problem. And so if you position this content in a way to say, hey, here's a problem, You walk through it, you show them what typical houses are having for problems. Boom, here's a solution on a retarget ad. Now you're capturing even more of the market share by doing it that way. It's a phenomenal strategy.
Yeah. So you mentioned, what was the word you used just now on
problem solution?
In the positioning, right? Like positioning. Stop looking. Like, so when you have a billboard or you have a radio spot or a TV ad that you're running,
that's all branding.
That's branding.
Yep.
So you can actually look at this as going, the investment I'm going to make on these top of funnel videos, these education videos, it's kind of like branding, right? You're not looking for an instant someone's going to call me, right? But you possibly can. But no one's going to like ride past your billboard and go, oh my gosh, yeah, you're right. I was thinking that I need to get my ducts clean. That is a branding play. It strengthens your brand. So I'm all for big branding. But we're actually, we've gotten into connected TV a lot here lately, right? Like everyone's cutting the cord. It's so much cheaper. It's kind of like what Facebook was 8 years ago, you know, as far as cost per lead and cost per clicks and just, you know, being able to reach that target audience. So we're getting into Hulu and Roku and these other platforms. But again, we're dropping educational pieces. Kevin and his team went and shot some content with a client of mine out in California. And it was on duct cleaning. And he's in their war room that they have built inside their office, and he's taking a customer's a piece of the ducking, and he's wiping with this cloth, and you can see like how, and he's like, you know, does your ducts look like this? And he explains what all is in here, dust and mites, and you know, just this disgusting stuff that's up in the air, that's in your system. And we're putting that on you know, connected TV platforms because we want to educate. We want people to just be able to go, whoa, is like question. They want them. You want people to ask their own questions instead of just being hit with, call now. You know, payments as low as this, or buy one get one free. And you got the Billy Mays of HVAC out there always trying to sell. No. Like, educate,
you need to create
awareness, let people ask questions, and then let it funnel down to once you've established that credibility and trust, all of a sudden, then when you drop an offer in there, they're like, these are the guys that I'm calling.
100%.
So Chet Holmes, he's the author of The Ultimate Sales Machine, and unfortunately he passed away
a couple years ago.
Yeah, a little while ago from cancer. But one of the things that he talked about was that, you know, in any given market, there's only 3% of people that are actively looking for your services right now, right? 7% are open to it. 30% don't even know they're interested. 30% could be interested but aren't aware of it, and 30% are absolutely not interested. There's a very, very small percentage that you're playing to when you're putting out a call to action offer, and that's where the education comes in, because now you're playing to more of the market. They didn't know that they weren't interested. They didn't know that they were interested. But now you've created awareness around a topic that you could then potentially sell to them. Now, one of the obstacles that comes to mind for me as you know, I'm an HVAC owner, I'm hearing you talk about this. This all sounds great, but it also sounds expensive. Like, what kind of equipment do I need to produce this kind of content? One of the things that I know Kevin brought up was this idea that using techs to create this content, not a production company, not an editor, is what's going to create more awareness around it, because it's going to feel more real. Like, what are your thoughts and opinions around getting real people with a phone to talk about these kinds of things, as opposed to hiring an editor and a videographer to create this shit?
We obsess over the data and analyzing everything that's coming in, and we actually tend to find, and Kevin is a data guy. He's a video light specialist guru nerd as well. All right, maybe in a minute at the end of this he'll
He barely even cracked a smile at that.
I know, because he is so professional right this second. But he obsesses over the data just as much as, you know, the rest of my social media team does. And what we find is that some of the videos that have the most engagement are the ones that are shot by the owners. You know, because when he goes on scene, he's actually working and teaching these guys how to use their cell phones, and, you know, how to properly shoot it for best sound, best video, but using, you know, their Apple or Android phone. And they get the best engagement we tend to find, because they come off real and authentic.
Yep.
Because people are so used to seeing the professionally shot videos, you know, for your car dealerships and things like that are always on TV. So when you see an HVAC video commercial shot that same way, it just tends to be, you know, it's just an ad. It's a branding ad. So we do still feel that there's a place for it. We you know, again, going back to the connected TV, we'll put maybe 10 different video assets out there. These little 20 to 30 seconds, especially like Hulu has a 30-second spot that cannot be fast forwarded through. So like we're finding this to be great for branding. So we still, instead of just putting a regular traditional video on there like you would see on a commercial on TV, we have some of those. We're taking their video business card, we're compressing this great 30-second B-roll and audio of the company, because we still want to show them in this light of they're professional. Here's their clean trucks driving off, or here they are knocking on the customer's door and talking to one of their customers home. We still want to show all that, but the videos that we see are getting the most views and interaction are the ones where they're like, hey, my name is Jonathan. I just pulled up here to my client's house in Frisco, Texas, and the call that came in today is actually a no air call. So we don't really know what's going on yet, but it's a service call, guys, and I want to take you along with me. And then they're shutting their camera off, right? Yep. And then they go into the home and they're talking to the homeowner, and then they ask the homeowner and they say, look, if you don't mind, I'm going to shoot some video. I'll keep whatever of your home out of it if you want. But I'm trying to educate our other customers, right? So what I found today, all right, I just took a look at your thermostat and your indoor unit, and I've ran some tests. And what I found is that it's actually your capacitor is bad. And I need to replace your capacitor. Very simple fix, right? And then they're asking the homeowner, or they may even say, listen, what I can do is I can offer you like 10% off today, or 15%, if you don't mind if I shoot some video content. And then at the end of this, I would love to ask you, do a video testimonial with you on how we did today. And, you know, like, get the customer bought into it, right? And most of the time, you're going to find that if they're not overwhelmed and busy with kids crying and all that, like, they're going to be willing to do it. But you got to find that right technician that wants to join into the culture of this with your company. And it has to be a culture change that happens inside the business. You can't just say, my marketing company needs to do it. That's what we pay you for. This is what you guys are best at. No, because
that's going to fall flat on its fucking face.
Well, you got to find what works in your market. And some people want real.
Yep.
They want to see real customers, real technicians, real owners that are willing to get in front of there and be real, instead 100%. Of just this, you know, makeup on them in this professional setting. They just want to see real. Like, here's who we are. This is what the community means to us. This is how we want to give back. And we want to take care of people's homes. And we want them to have the best, you know, air quality that we possibly can inside their homes. Like, let that passion reign out, right?
Yep.
So we find that those videos of being able, then the tech will pick up and go, all right, listen. So I'm in the home here in Frisco. And what I've found is I did some simple checks. I started at the thermostat. Now I've gone to the indoor, and I've made myself out to the outdoor unit. They can just take these little simple shots, and we teach them these step processes where they're shooting for 10 or 15 seconds and they're shutting their phone off. And once they discover that it's the capacitor that needs to be replaced, then they pick back up. All right, listen, this is what we found. The capacitor's bad. They can show the bad capacitor. They can show the new one that they're pulling off of the truck, and they're going, look, I'm going to install this today. And they even can go as far as going, listen, like, you can actually pick one of these up at Lowe's or Home Depot if you'd like. You know, obviously it's going to save you money, but the difference is having a professional company install it for you. You're going to install that. We've got years of training. You know, you start talking about that professionalism and what goes in behind all the certifications and certificates that these guys hold and have, which makes it different. We get reviews from clients of ours all the time that customers are leaving like, they're happy. They were happy when my client left, but now they're frustrated because they went and looked up the parts and they saw how much cheaper it was at Lowe's or Home Depot, and they feel like they got ripped off. Right. They don't understand that there's a price of doing business, and that they had to send that technician to school, and that they've got certifications and stuff to be able to do that. And
there's a vehicle, there's an office, there's staff,
100%.
There's overhead.
They don't look at any of that because, one, guys, you got to remember that most of your customers are not small business owners.
Nope.
So they don't understand what all goes into that because they work for someone and they get a paycheck. So they think you're just ripping them off. So I think by shooting these videos and being full transparent, you're already showing them how to do stuff at the top. So tell them, listen, like this part here, you can probably get cheaper somewhere else, on Amazon or somewhere. But what you're not going to be able to do is make sure that it's installed properly.
You're not going to burn your house down if you did something
exactly.
wrong.
Exactly. So, look, I just think by being fully transparent, educating people on the cost of doing business, and that unfortunately, like, you've got people to pay and you've got insurance to pay, and you like to pay them a very decent wage that allows them to be able to take care of their family and they have a comfortable life. So it all ties in, but you just got to educate. That's all it really comes down to.
100%. Well, and there's a great book. It's called They Ask You Answer. I highly encourage everyone to go out and read it. We're actually going to do a webinar on it in a couple months. But the core topic of it is how can we answer questions that customers have, and putting that out on social media, putting that out in blog posts, right? Putting that content out there that no one else is answering. Things like, what is the cost of an AC repair? And then breaking that down, right? What is the cost of replacing my AC unit? And breaking it down, not putting it out there like it's going to cost you $35.89. No, putting it out there as it's going to be a range between $35.89 and $17,000. Here's some of the things that are going to cause it to be on the higher end. Here's some of the things that are going to cause it to be on the lower end. Putting that information out there that is blatantly and transparently answering the question in a very real, fundamental way for people to understand.
100%.
And there needs to be more of that honesty and transparency out there. But.
Yep. Cool. As our cameraman Kevin has given us the 3-minute warning about 7 minutes ago, we're going to rapid fire the random question and, of course, our signature last question. So, for you, we have these MTV cards. Can you impersonate...
WTF, but whatever.
WTF.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Right.
I was upside down. So I've been drinking. I'm on lack of sleep with the 3-month-old at home. So, can you impersonate anyone famous?
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Nice.
So there you
That's
go.
It?
That's it. That's all. Not even like a mall shook up.
Blue suede shoes? No.
But I feel like I should be able to impersonate Elvis because I'm actually born on his birthday, January 8th.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Yeah, Hunka burn love, baby.
Love it.
All right,
awesome. One final question for you, Jonathan. What is one question you wish people would ask you more, but they don't?
How do we get more dialed in on our marketing results? How do we tie in exact ad spend or exact what we're doing as far as their business? Like, and we may be doing the actual work for them, but how do we dial that in and get the most out of it? Like the most understanding? Because listen, what I've found is our clients that truly want to get super, super deep on it, they're willing to open up their wallets as much as I ask them to, right? They just have to understand what they're doing. But in order for that understanding, I can talk to them until I'm blue in the face. But if they're not willing to truly sit down and open their ears and their minds and go, all right, listen, I understand this, and I've got more questions about this. If they just want to sit on a call and hear me talk or hear one of the account managers talk, it's not going to work. But so I would love for them to be more engaged and ask the question of how do we get more involved from the business side of it. We want to truly feel like we're a marketing partner with you guys, and that your office in Dallas is sitting right outside ours in Idaho or California. But because guys, we live in 2021, right?
Yep.
Like, I mean, you can shoot video. I can shoot video content on our podcast. I could do it from a beach in Maui, and
Anywhere.
no one would ever know it
Yep.
if I didn't want them to, right? Like, they would think I'm in my office. I mean, there's just so many things you can do these days. So it doesn't have to feel like I need to keep it local. I need to find a local marketing company that also has a bakery and a tire shop and a hair salon. Those guys do not know HVAC, and they do not know how to help your business grow,
Yep.
right? Like, you need to find someone that is good, that knows, that obsesses over HVAC and plumbing and electrical, right? Like these guys here, Evan and Thaddeus, they understand what it's going to take your business to that next level, and they're obsessing over the home service industry. They don't have any clients that are in these other whacked out spaces that have nothing to do with you, right? So that would be the big thing for me is I wish more clients would say, how do we get more involved with your team? And, you know, at the end of the day, if they cared more about how to work as a team, as one unit, I think we would all have more success.
Right, 100%.
That's deep. I think that topic would be, I mean, I want to ask that question to you right now, but I feel the answer is probably going to be about 10 minutes long. So we'll have to have you back on at a future juncture in time to be able to ask that question. So, you know, as we wrap up, obviously we want to thank you for tuning in today to another episode of HVAC Success Secrets Revealed. But before you go, 2 quick things. First, if you took one little tiny nugget of golden information from this podcast, from this show, please share and introduce it to one other person in your Rolodex. Yes, I used Rolodex as an old school term, so not everybody has Rolodexes anymore. The other part is join our Facebook group, facebook.com/groups/HVAC Revealed. And until next time, cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, guys.
Enjoy it, guys.
Thanks, Jonathan.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.